So I guess I need to make a clarification from my last post about living in poverty. I should have said you can't make a living as an artist. You can make a killing as an artist, but you can't make a living as one. You know, I guess people will supplement their income by, you know, working another job, teaching, which I do, things like that. So yeah, and there's plenty of successful artists out there. I know a few living, and there's a few really, really successful ones that were dead. I mean, Rubens is a good example of. Picasso's another one. I mean, some of these guys, they made a killing. Didn't make a living, just made a killing. But so we're gonna start going. First thing I want to do is talk about the materials, what I prefer, what I think you guys should be using too. Definitely need to use the best materials possible. Not the best materials you can afford, but the best materials possible. If you want to save money on shirts, save money on clothes. Designer shirt right here. Thrift store. Some poor sap paid 40 bucks for this shirt. I paid $4.99. So there you go. And I'm also wearing Sean John jeans. This is my new painter's pants. Unfortunately, my old ones, which I'm sure lots of people have seen, nice little hole on the ass. So these things are gone now. They're just rags, unfortunately. Very sad. Had them for a while. So now Sean John is gonna take over for my painter's pants. Alright guys, well, we'll get started in a bit. Okay. Alright guys, black paint right here. So this is Ivory Black. As far as I know, there's 3 blacks out on the market, and they're all made out of different materials. And what's the difference? They're all black. Really not. Ivory Black is charred bone. It's usually like fish bone and animal bones. They char it, they grind it up, and they make pigment out of it. And then there's also Mars Black, which is iron. You know, that iron is naturally black, so they just grind that up really fine, make black with that. And then there's Lamp Black, which is carbon. It's they burn. I guess you could say they burn some oil or something like that, and they have a piece of glass, and they collect all the carbon on the glass, and yeah, they just scrape it off and make pigment out of that. So what we've got here is Ivory Black. I like ivory because it's got a nice warm kind of undertone to it. Well, here's my palette. Got all my colors here. It's really wise to have a limited palette. I have 9 colors counting black and white. So I have Ivory Black, Lizard Crimson, Cad Red Light, or it's Cad Red Light, Lemon Yellow, Titanium White. The color I use for landscape painting, Permanent Green Light, and that's one of my favorite colors right here, Viridian Green, French Ultramarine. Oh, right here, it's Cerb's Blue right there. That's another landscape color. I don't have any on that right now. Linseed oil. Linseed oil. It's a nice little, you can buy these eyedroppers at health food stores, you know, so that way you're not pouring too much in there. I have like 2 little trays here. I got a light one, dark one. That's about it. I don't use medium because I'm a direct painter. Alright, so what I do when I mix colors, first thing I do is I always go for the lightest color first, and then I add dark colors into it. And the other thing is I make puddles. So you can see I got the yellow right there. I'm going to get a nice close-up of it so you guys can actually enjoy this beautiful color. So right now I'm going to show you how to use black. I started with yellow because I'm going to show you green. I only use black to make colors. So look at this. It's a nice neutral green. Black is a perfect way to kill a color. And sometimes you want dead colors. I don't know if you can really see this, but it's nice and green. I'll throw some on here so you guys can have a look. Look at that green right there. And that's just black and lemon yellow. And then there you go, that's green. That's how you make green using black. Black and lemon yellow. There's a few other ways of making green, obviously. There's yellow and blue. That's one way. There's, you know, Viridian, which is a very blue green. There's sap green, which I don't use. You don't really need it. If you have a Viridian green, you really don't need it. The thing about making green with yellow and blue is it's way too strong. It's very acidic. It looks like acid. And there's nothing in nature that is that kind of green, you know, unless it's like radioactive. So you need to kind of neutralize it a little bit. And if you're not doing black and yellow, the green with, you know, that kind of green with the yellow and blue, you're going to need just a touch of red just to neutralize it just a little bit more. All right, here we go. Moving on to black and red. There's my red. It's a beautiful red. Always buy artist grade paint. They have the nicest quality of pigments. The student grade paint has a lot of like inert additive to it, which is, you know, if you start mixing student grade and artist grade together, you'll see that the artist grade colors will obliterate the student grade. Even if you took artist grade yellow, student grade black, that yellow is going to end up kicking the black's ass constantly. So here's our red, and grab a little bit of black. So, like I said, I work in puddles, so I have them separate, and then what I do is I pull them together. And here we go. This is a nice brown right here. Take it over here, and I'll show you. Show some more. That's nice and dark. Get some more light on that. And I can adjust. I can keep adjusting the brown, adding more red to it. Even more red. And it's nice to mix. Impressionists do that all the time. They mix their paint on their canvas. So it's a beautiful brown. I really love. I don't know, I just really love that color. And it's almost like burnt sienna, but not quite. Burnt sienna is inherently a weaker color because it's an earth tone and it's made out of mud. But I don't know, you know, it's pretty good. So that's brown. That's black and red, so that's brown right there. All right, so this is another obvious use of black, is to make a gray. And you'll see that's pretty much a true gray. It's a little on the cold side. You guys, I guess I can go into explain temperatures of color. Just overdid it with that black, but that's why I work in puddles. Push that color back in, kind of get the right neutral gray. But there's a lot nicer ways of making gray. You know, there's it's called chromatic gray, and that means a gray with a color. So, for instance, you know, Ceres Blue and Cad Red make a beautiful gray. It's like an almost purple gray. It's really beautiful. Here we go again. So it's a very cold gray. It's almost leaning towards blue. You guys can see that pretty well, but there it is. That's our color. That's another use of black. So, all right. Looks like the sun is coming in the bathroom now, which is unfortunate. I don't have north light. So, it brings us to the next logical question. If you don't use black, then how do you make black? Fairly simple. I like to start with, you have to do either alizarin and viridian, which is my favorite color, by the way. Push it together. You can make a real nice dark purple. So follow me, and you can see that it's real dark. If I push it out, you can see the purple in it. See how very purple that is? But you can also throw a little bit of yellow into it just to neutralize it a bit. So 3 colors should be a max. If you can't hit the color with 3 different colors, then try a different combination. Another way to use black is to use a bit of this French ultramarine and alizarin. So push that alizarin in there, makes a very, very blue purple, which is a very nice black too. Pretty much exactly the same. Alright, so there's black right there. And if you guys insist on using black as a black, my suggestion would be add another color into it. Add just a little bit of alizarin. A lot of times black, if you look at black, it'll tend to vibrate out red. So it'd be wise to throw a little bit of alizarin in there. Or even French ultramarine if you want a real nice dark black French ultramarine. But the thing that I've noticed with black is it'll actually make holes, visually holes in your painting. And because it absorbs all that light, it doesn't reflect any of it back. That's why purple's nice, because at least there's a little bit of a color that kind of vibrates out, reflects back. It kind of reminds me of a little funny story, and who knows how true this is. I mean, it's down now; it's like folklore. But Sargent and Monet, they used to paint together occasionally. And Sargent didn't have his paints with him, so Monet's like, "Oh, it's no problem here. You can borrow my stuff." Sargent's sitting there looking at it, and he's looking around. He looks in the box, starts searching around the box, and Monet's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm looking for your black paint." He's like, "I don't use black paint. You shouldn't be using black paint either." But I mean, I have it on my palette, and I use it for other colors. And occasionally, you just want to get it really that dark, especially if you're doing like a kind of a modern-looking painting. You paint the edges black, but seriously, just add a little bit of color. And the reason I'm bringing up black as my first lesson is because I've seen so many paintings with just too much black in it, just the wrong use of black. Been to a few universities, kind of walked around the hallways, kind of poked into some studios, and man, it's just like, please, is everybody on the planet do me a favor and never put black inside a flesh tone. Unless you're painting a corpse or something unnatural, just don't put black in flesh. I mean, I guess I'll cover flesh tones later, way later. We have to go through all our colors first. But no, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Alright guys, well, thank you for your support. Got a lot of comments. Any suggestions, any questions, please, throw them my way. And another thumbs up, please, and I will see you guys on the flip side.